Okay, so I've been threatening for a while to start making different videos and using YouTube as a bit of a platform. So I done it years ago for more so for clients and educational kind of stuff for clients, but I made them all public. I was initially doing it just to make them private, but I think now I'm going to start venturing out into some different videos. So I had a lot of ideas from days in the life, educational stuff, training stuff, and then specific sessions as well. So we're going to go through specific sessions. Obviously in time I'd like to venture out to doing collaborations with people I know, in the sense of not your typical collaboration, but I suppose talks with other people and branching, I suppose, the channel out into more than just your regular running and sprinting and gym work and things like that, and other things that I find interesting, like dogs. So this hopefully will kickstart a little bit of it. If I ever do get round to editing it, we will see. This is Nova. He is coming with me for my sprint session now. So the way I'm going to format this is I'm going to get changed, do a little bit of mobility. I'm going to do some deep tier hops, some wall drills, some plyometrics. I'm going to try and get quite a lot of volume of plyometric skips and marches and things like that done, because I want to load up on that while I'm in the off season now. I'm then going to go out to the pitch. I'm going to get some accelerated bounds done, some switch skips, some turns, things like that. Then we're going to go into about 4 accelerated runs where I'm just going to work as fast as I can over 10 meters. I am then going to do some accelerated sprint work with a sled, so some resisted sprints, again just over 10 meters again, with a dog sled behind me, just working on my initial sprint phase. And then I'm just going to open it up to 3 fly runs where I'm trying to hit max speed at least 3 times and give it welly there. Now this dog will be in the car while I'm doing that, because he is a disaster to bring out running. My other dog, I am faster than, but not this one, and he thinks it's a game every time I sprint and tries to take my feet from under me. So we get cracking. The initial phase, the mobility, if the dog lets me do it. I'm going to spend 5-10 minutes here rushing through the mobility. And then, as I was saying before, I'm going to get into some wall drills, some landing positions, some control eccentrics, and then I'm going to go for a lot of hops. And we're going to get cracking from there. So we'll go through the full session. Hey. So on days like this, I do quite a bit of mobility. At the start of every gym session, I do specific stuff. I've had surgery on both my knees. As a result, my hips tend to get a little bit tight at times. I'm doing a higher volume of running, so on other days I am hitting mobility quite a lot. So today's one, funnily enough, will probably be the shorter mobility circuit I do, but at the same time, it's probably the longest warm-up I'll do before I actually get sprinting. And I'll tell you how clueless I am with uploading videos. I literally have searched a Spotify playlist called royalty-free YouTube music, in case I go through making this whole video playing bangers that I like, and then all of a sudden none of them are allowed. So keep that in mind with the music in the background. It's just a necessity. I kind of always would say to people, and I'm taking my own advice on this whole route or shout for perfectionism is a bit of a mess, really, because the dog's after stealing my socks. Because I can't, if I am going to get paralysis by analysis and I'm going to say, oh, I'm not going to start this or uploading this until everything is perfect, from the music to the edits to the script to all of that, then what's the point? If someone was saying that for fitness, if they were saying, do you know what, I'm not going to start till I get to X amount of weight, or I'm not going to start until the stars align, I'd be saying how silly it is. So I'm taking my own advice here and starting, even though it's gonna be imperfect. I don't really care. I mean, yeah, it can get better. It also can't really get much worse than the editing that's gonna be done here, so at least that's my starting point. And that's kind of my thought process through this. It's don't get bogged down by trying to get everything perfect, because I'll tell you what, I'm a far fucking cry from any of that. Do you know, some people will get pissed off if their dog was doing this, but I'm just happy I'm in a position where I can bring my dogs really wherever I go. The other one's at work with my wife, so I get to bring this one, and as naggy as he can be, especially in places like this, isn't it a fucking privilege to have a dog and to be able to bring it everywhere with you and to be able to look after it. So I'm not going to complain on that end, definitely. Wall drills, I tend to do quite a lot of isometrics. On other days, body weight weighted, overcoming isometrics. So I tend to not hold wall drills too long. I'll get one round of isos done, where I'm holding a position, 5 to 8 seconds roughly. Then I'll get straight into my switches. It's just to reinforce the movement or the position I want to be in really, as opposed to practicing the isometrics at this stage. Again, not perfect, but a lot better than what it was. Okay, so we're moving into landing. Check my time there, about 13 to 14 minutes gone. So we're gonna go for some landing drills from heights, some elevated drops, and then we're gonna add in some jumps, and then we're gonna add in some plyos and start to build up that intensity, getting ready for sprinting. So again, just prepping with some landing drills. And Nova, of course. I like to gradually add weight on these. I find if I go up too heavy too soon, the knees kick back a little. Good, so this is just a drill in how quickly you can decelerate and kind of control that. Already blowing. Now good. Good. So I've started adding in recently, after a few weeks of these altitude drops, kind of just dropping in, I suppose, awkward landing ones, where I'm landing in different positions, trying to decelerate quickly, trying to bridge the gap. I suppose I found it hard to bridge that gap between double leg and single leg from this height anyway. So it kind of has been helping bridge that gap a little bit as well, where I'm very comfortable to decelerate on the single leg. Well, not very, but a lot more than I would have been. I suppose it's always in your head. Could be better, could be worse. Just to get the joints ready. God, I wonder when I get to this part, will anyone make it this far? We'll see, we'll see. Okay, session now. We're gonna pick up the pace a little bit because in about 10 minutes, my boots will be on and I'm gonna be sprinting. So what I like to do is start with some switches, bring in some repeated bounds and just lift the intensity as I go. So I'll start with double switches. with as little contact ground time as possible. I'll usually go back. I'll add in some laterals, some different positions. Forward. Stay. Move. I'm 25 minutes in. Let's get my boots on. We'll get a little bit of longer warm-up stuff done on the pitch, and then I'll get into my sprints. Downstairs, putting the boots on. Got to put the dog in the boot, in the open boot of the car, because I know I've been here before where he just decides, do you know what? I know Kevin's going to neuter me. I'm going to take him out. So I'm not going to play this game with him again today, where I give him a chance. I'm just going to teach him a lesson from the get-go. He's going to watch from the car, and in between runs I'll let him out, throw a bit of ball. Everyone will be happy then. Bear with me. What a fucking day. It does not look as good a day from this side. You know, I was taking an underage team last night for some S&C, and it's funny, when I'm coaching I feel really warmed up that I went out and I could sprint to show them the movements. Whereas when I'm doing this session I need to warm up for ages before I can hit those markers, whatever it is. I kind of like to do just a speed block before I really introduce a lot of cuts. I'm introducing a few cuts today, but nothing crazy. So I've been mixing up cross steps, a few lateral movements, a few 5-10 5s. But over the last month I've really been focusing on that 10 to 15 yards. And today is the first day I add in a few cuts at the end of the yards. We're going to see how it goes. Hopefully good. Alright, we're going to do backward crossover steps, as if I'm tracking back and someone's trying to step me and I'm trying to catch their bluff. I like this one as well. It gets me thinking a lot of the time. So 1, 2, 3. We're going to do a fall and start now. And I am going to lead with my left side because I tend to favour my right, so I'll lead with the left. Popped in my head there. I was giving advice to the underage team I was with last night, and I was saying sometimes when you're changing direction or going into a curve, you got to slow down to speed up at times, and I could do with taking my own advice there on the last one. I did not intentionally slow down to speed up, so we'll rectify that the next day. But for now, that's plenty on those. I'm going to do 15 yards or so, just an acceleration drill on the sled, and then I'm going to take a long break. I'm going to do it 3 times. So, come on, you forgot the ball. You forgot the ball. Go get it. Go, 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 go. The whole goal here is to add a little bit of resistance that will put you into that acceleration phase longer than I could naturally put myself into that for, and try and get as much of a push off. Sleds are not great for improving speed. They've shown to not really, when compared with regular sprinting, unweighted, they are worse for you for improving that high speed or top speed running, because what it does is adding a sled doesn't allow you to get to that top speed, and then as a result you're not training it, or you're not getting enough exposure to it. Whereas when you're trying to work on your initial push off and your acceleration, it has shown to help. But again, I think once a lot of people figured out that the top speed thing was no use, they kind of dropped sleds and forgot about them because they just assumed it was no good for your speed altogether. But when we're talking acceleration phase, good, as long as it's not too heavy. When we're talking top speed, trying to improve it, not so good. I have finished the sled sprints. I'm taking another 2 minutes. I'm 55 minutes into the session now. I've got 3 runs left to go, so I'm gonna go for 3 fly runs. My first fly is gonna be 20 meter building block into 10 meters flat out. I'm gonna have about 2 minutes off. I'm gonna do a 15 meter building block into 15 meters flat out. I'm gonna have about 3 minutes off. Then I'm gonna do 10 meter building block into 20 meters max effort sprint. And I'm gonna call it at that then. It's clearing up outside. Wind has gone a little bit, so if you can see out there, it's a little bit calmer. Nova's ready and waiting. Okay, so we're on our second fly run. Just took over 2 minutes off. Also had a piss. Now we're gonna build 15 meters building into a 15 meter max out. So again, we're trying to get to the high speeds even with this ground. We'll do as good as we can. I'll probably take 3 minutes then before my last one. Okay, so I have over 3 minutes off now. I'm about an hour and 2 minutes into the session. I'm gonna call it quits here on the video. And what I'm gonna do is use this break to clean up everything, clear off, so when I'm done the run I can just throw the shoes on and head off. I have a bit more work this evening now, so let's hope this video isn't a total shit show.